started right after Stackhouse started teaching here like 11 years ago. I do know that there's a lot of rumors about how it started. Stackhouse is a Packers fan. Mix likes the Cleveland Browns. But I think mostly it's just Stackhouse's personality that what started the whole thing.
Whose side of the Mix-Stackhouse Feud are you on?
That's hard to say. It varies from day to day. Both of them are crazy, so it's hard to side with either one of them.
Stackhouse.
Oh, I'm on neither side because it's just too dangerous a thing. I try to keep my hands free of all those things. That feud's gone a long time. I remember back in the Pleistocene era, there was well, back when Mr. Mix was around, that is when the feud began. Ancestors have feuded for years. It's the feud of the follicle is what it's called.
Well, my first day, I got the impression that he was probably going to be my least favorite person here at Scribner, and the last 10 years have proved me correct.
What is your side of the story?
My side of the story, actually, the feud started years and years ago. My grandpappy Mix owned a pig farm up in Floyd Knobs, and he raised pigs. And his great-grandfather, Jedediah Stackhouse, owned a worm farm out in New Salisbury. And he had a mess of kids, and they got tired of eating worms, and they didn't have any skills to do anything, and they was too stupid to do anything else. So he sent one of his kids up to my great-grandpappy's farm and stole one of the pigs. And Grandpappy Mix, he didn't think anything of it. He felt sorry for him because they were so stupid. And he let it go. And well, they got away with that, and they came up and stole another pig, another pig, another pig. Pretty soon they had a pig farm of their own. And, you know, it didn't bother him too much, but, you know, they started bragging about it and raising pigs and talked about how good they pig farmers there were. As a matter of fact, out in New Salisbury, they opened up a barbecue restaurant, and they sold the pigs as New Salisbury steaks. And from that point on, we just have not had a good relationship between the Stackhouses and the Mixes.
What is your version of the story on why they are feuding?
Well, I think it started with them telling the same joke on the same day. Students in neither class laughed, like usual, but they both claimed to get an uproarious response from students. When that lie was found out, Mr. Stackhouse got mad. Mr. Mix got glad, and from there it's been a feud.
What is your version of the story? Okay, so this all began when Mix entered the nursing home for the first time at the ripe age of 97, which he's older now. Mix wanted Stackhouse to pull him out, but Stackhouse, being the smart man he is, knew that this was a bad idea. When Stackhouse refused, Mix lost his mind even more than it was already gone, and it all went downhill from there.
You ready? Well, years ago, there was about 10 years ago, there was another principal who came up to me and asked me, said, hey, listen, Mix, we got this new teacher, and he doesn't have too many friends. He's kind of homely, and I don't think anybody likes him. I want to know if you might be friends with him. I said, well, sure, what's his name? She said, Stackhouse. I said, okay, I'll be friends with him. So we went and we started doing things like fishing and hunting and playing tennis and golf and basketball, whatever, but it got kind of boring because Stackhouse wasn't very good at anything, and I beat him at everything. So I asked him, I said, hey, Stackhouse, you like to hunt rabbits? He said, oh, I love to hunt rabbits. I said, I tell you what, this Saturday I'll pick you up in my pickup truck. I'll put my gun in the back, and you put your gun in the back, and we'll head off to Harrison County. I know this farmer lives out there, and we'll do some rabbit hunting. So, oh, that'd be great, be great. So I do like I said, and I pick him up, and we head out to Harrison County. And we're going down the road. We're just about to get to this farmer's house, and look over inside the field, and he's got this old mule out here in the middle of all these cows, kind of sickly looking thing. And I didn't think anything of it, and I go up and I pull up in the driveway. And I said, now listen, I said, I've known this farmer for years, and I know it's okay, but just out of courtesy, I think I should ask him. I said, you wait here. It's okay. So I go up and I talking to the farmer. We're, you know, shaking hands and talk about old times. And I said, hey, listen, I got this friend of mine out in the truck, and we'd like to do some rabbit hunting on your land. Do you mind? He said, oh no, Mitch, you know, you're always welcome on my land. He said, but I would like for you to do me a favor. I said, okay, what's that? He said, did you see out here in this field this old mule out in the middle of all these cows, kind of sickly looking, feeble? I said, yeah, what's wrong with it? He said, well, I'm afraid it's got some disease and I really need to put it out of its misery. But I've had that mule for probably 15 years and I just don't have the heart to shoot him. Would you mind doing that? And I said, yeah, I don't have a heart. Be glad to do that. So I started walking back to the truck. And I think, you know, I'm going to pull a trick on old Stackhouse. So I get back to the truck and open up the door. And I slammed the door and I said, oh, man, I'm mad. He said, what are you so mad for? I said, that old fool farmer asked him if we could hunt on his property. And he turned me down. Turned me down. Now what are we going to do? I've got a whole Saturday here with you. What are we going to do? And I started going down the road, and Stackhouse, he's sitting there trembling like the big sissy he is, you know. And I see that cow in the middle of the field, and I pull over the side of the road. I reach back there, and I grab my shotgun. He said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I said, oh, he makes me so mad, I'm just going to shoot his mule. And I go over there, see that mule, and I kind of bear down on him, and I go, boom, and that mule drops. Next thing I know, hear something go boom, boom, boom behind me. I look around, there's Stackhouse with a gun. I said, Stackhouse, what are you doing? He said, oh, he makes me so mad, I just shoot 3 of his cows. I mean, he's just so stupid, just so stupid. But, you know, that's the cow story, and I can't go out in Harrison County anymore, but that's the kind of guy Stackhouse is.
How do you feel about the cow story?
It's a complete fabrication of Mr. Mix's mind.
What do you think of each other's hair?
What do I think of Stackhouse's hair?
Yeah.
You know, I try not to think of it. It makes me sad.
My thoughts on their hair. I'm going to be nice and say that, you know, for his age, Mr. Mix has a fine head of hair. And Stackhouse, I think, looks better with a haircut. When he grows out his beard and his long hair, I don't think it's very professional.
What do you guys think of each other's hair?
I hate his. I think it's ugly.
What do you think of Mr. Mix and Mr. Stackhouse's hair?
Well, and that's hard to say. They both take quite a bit of pride in it. It scares me, though, to think about it.
Well, when Stackhouse combs his is much better, but it's so rare that I have to go with Mix on a daily basis. He combs his a little more often, believe it or not.
They need a haircut, both of them. If you hate him so much, is there a reason besides charity work that you hang out together with him and allow him to eat lunch in your room?
Well, I open my doors to everybody. Mr. Condor walks in, Mr. Allersback walks in, and I don't mind him walking in as long as he eats back there by that stool. Back. This is the stool he sits on right here. Okay. Right there. People, you just have to say, hey, they're just not very smart, they're not very intelligent, you know, and you take pity on them.
Mr. Mix called you a charity case. How do you feel about that?
Well, no comment.
One good thing you can think of about each other.
No comment.
What is one good thing you could say about Mr. Stackhouse?
Grandpappy Mix always told me if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything, so I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Mr. Mix also compared you to Charlie Manson. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's I don't have much of an opinion on that coming from someone like him, you know.
What's one thing about Mr. Mix that inspires you?
I would say I'm inspired by his lack of care. How someone could go through life caring so little about so many things.
How would you feel if Mr. Mix decided to leave?
We'd throw a big party.
What's one thing about Mr. Stackhouse that inspires you?
That inspires me. That's a good question. One thing inspires me. I guess to raise my kids better, because I don't want them to turn out like Stackhouse.
What would you do if Mr. Stackhouse up and quit?
If he up and quit, I believe I would try to give him a job at McDonald's.
Would you ever consider burying the hatchet?
Absolutely not.
Would you ever consider burying the hatchet?
I would, but Stackhouse so stupid he'd probably dig it back up again.